So here I am back in my studio. I've been away for a couple of weeks, just staying at my parents', and so I've had a little break away from everything, post declutter, post ideas, and I was quite excited to get back because I really wanted to get stuck into this new project. The dresses were drafted, I made the prototypes, I was happy with the direction that was going in, and I I kind of half made a couple of dresses before I went away so that I had something to look at when I came back and thought, right, I know exactly where I'm going with this. And I pulled out a batch of fabrics, which includes, as you can see, this lovely red tartan. I've got a whole range of small amounts of fabric, and I'm just starting to now put these dresses together. I've completely nailed inseam pockets now. So I'm adding that to all the dresses that are light fabrics like this. Where I have heavier fabrics, they will get the patch pockets on the front because they will hold the weight of the contents better. Now, most of the fabrics that I've got are one-offs, so I can only get one dress out of them, and that is usually how I've always worked in the past. The style of dresses that I normally do mean that one dress will fit a range of body sizes and body shapes. That's the point of what I do. But with this, it's a little more tricky. They are a relaxed fit, so they are more forgiving, but one dress is not going to fit everybody. So where I have enough fabric, for instance this one, I had enough fabric to make two dresses. I am making one in a larger size and one in a smaller size, but again they'll still be relaxed fits. So I've completed what I consider a size 16, although I think the 16s will probably fit an 18 as well. And this one, for instance, is based on a size 12, but will probably fit a small 14 and down to a size 10. So I'm trying to create what I can out of small amounts. The other thing I'm not good at is I'm not a factory line. I don't want to make loads and loads of dresses all exactly the same. I'm not a production line. That's not how I work. I get bored very easily. I like everything to be different. I like to have the challenge of, oh look, I'm doing something new, not the same thing over and over again. I've had to streamline this dress though, and like I say, get good at the inseam pockets, because even when you're a small business, you're still there to make money. If you're a business, you are there to make money, and you need to think carefully about profit margins. Now, when I was at university, I was told to average for a 150% profit margin on garments. Now, if I was working in a factory, that would be easy. You produce hundreds and hundreds of dresses. You'd be paying factory workers a minimum wage. You'd be buying your fabric in bulk, and you would find those profit margins. I can't do that. I am one person. I am making individual dresses at my own speed. Now, in terms of price ranges, you know, some people complain about why handmade is more expensive, and it's because of the time it takes, and because if you were working, you would not expect less than the minimum wage. So let's say, for instance, let's say I want to make this dress for, say, £50, which a lot of people will say that's a lot of money for what you're making. Let's say it takes me 3 hours from start to finish. That's laying out the fabric, that's pattern cutting, that's doing all the overlocking, doing the stitching, putting in those fiddly pockets. Let's say I can do that in 3 hours per dress. That's already £33 if I work on an £11 per hour rate, which is below the minimum wage. So already I'm at £33 for my time alone. There's the cost of the fabric. There's the cost of the energy, so electric. There is the wear and tear to my machinery, any repairs, that all has to be absorbed by the business. There's all the cottons, there's the needles, there is the time that it takes me to market it. I need to do the photographs, I need to edit those photographs, I need to write the descriptions, I need to get it onto my website. That is going to take more than £50 worth of my time just to do that. So my profit margin then becomes, well, I'm paying myself less per hour to justify that. And that's quite tricky. I can afford to do that because this business is not my main income. And it hasn't been for the last 3 years. I've got lots of other little side hustles and small things that I do that boost the income, so they all end up in the same pot. So I'm not under pressure to earn my entire income, my entire living out of this one business. Thank God for that. And that's why I work from home, because I'm not paying rent on a studio. I don't have business fees. I don't have to pay for a shop, anything like that. So aside from that, there's lots of other issues that come with making stuff and doing this yourself. Photography is a real problem. I don't have anywhere to shoot large products. I can do the jewellery items, I can do the coasters, I can set up a little studio here on my table, and with the right edit features and the way I do the photographs, I can get away with that. With garments like this, you need them on a mannequin. A mannequin takes up room, so I've had to get good at photo editing, and by that I mean having to get good at editing out photo backgrounds, because I don't have any blank space for backgrounds. So I now have to do the photograph, edit out the background to put it onto a white or a colourless background so that it's more presentable on the website. And so that has been a challenge. I've had to self-teach myself that, and of course there is this YouTube channel. I've had to teach myself video editing and things like that. This all comes into it. This all takes time, and it's learning new skills, but it takes time to get right. So that's where I am at the moment. I've completed a size 16 in this tartan. I've completed a 16 in a white variation of this tartan. What else do I have? So I've made a few here. So here is the size 16, which I think will probably also fit an 18. I have to relook at the measurements now it's completed, and then I can list that for whatever size it's up at. But also, if you like a really relaxed baggy fit and maybe you're a 14, this might be exactly what you're looking for. I made myself, in the end, the yellow one. Nobody ever buys a yellow dress, and I love yellow, so I had just enough fabric to make one dress. I've made that for me, so that's my version of it. This is the size 16 in the lighter colourway of the tartan, which again is a really fun dress. These dresses come down to knee length. They're just below knee length on me, and I'm 5'4". I can adjust all the hems. Unfortunately, because I've put pockets into the side seams, it makes it more difficult to alter the size of the dress. But if you see when you like and it doesn't fit and you need it smaller, let me know, because I could take that in if you're prepared to pay for the cost on that. Here is a work version. This is a slate grey wool blend pinstripe. It's a heavier fabric, so I've put the patch pockets in this one. This one will be going up on the website as well. And then of course I have the original prototype, which has side seams and patch pockets. I'm going to take the patch pockets off. You can see the problem with putting patch pockets into a lighter stretchy fabric. You can see how the shape starts to go. So I'm going to take these patch pockets off. I am going to give this dress a wash and a clean. That is going to go up onto the website because the quality of the finish is good enough for that. And then I have a grey marl fabric, which I'm going to make one or two out of. I've got more of that paisley, that floral print, so I'm going to make another one of those. I have a dark blue colourway of the tartan, and that's probably going to be it for now. I don't want to make too many of these dresses, because what if they don't sell? If I make like 20 different dresses, or you know, a range of sizes across several fabrics, and none of them sell, it's pointless me doing it. So I've now got what, 3 or 4 to put up. I've got this one to finish. I have a couple more colourways to do, which I will do in different sizes, and then I'm going to start putting these together on my website, do the photographs, do the descriptions, get them up for sale, do a little bit of Instagram with them. I'll show them off here on YouTube, and then we'll see if any of these sell. I think they're great. I've made one for myself, so you know, they're great. They're great for hot summer days. They're wonderful for taking on holiday, wearing on your travels, because they're really easy, they're really forgiving, They're really comfortable, so they're great for travel. They're great for going to the beach. If you're going on a holiday somewhere really hot, these are ideal for just slumming it around the beach all day. Or you've got a nice pair of flats, like a nice gladiator sandal, loads of jewellery, put your hair up. These will work just as well for the evening. Got a nice fancy bag to go with it, and you are sorted for an evening out at a restaurant, or if you're going out to a bar for an evening on a hot holiday. So these are really versatile dresses. They can be dressed up or down, which is what I tend to go for. And I have the little asymmetric dresses. I'll put some example pictures up here of a similar feel. The sizings, again, are a bit different. They don't have pockets in them. They were very limited fabrics. And back in the time before, I was thinking a little bit more outside the box like this. At the moment, I'm feeling really enthusiastic. I've got my new bit of studio space. I've got my table. I've got my sewing machine is now up against the window, so I've got all the light coming in. I'm still having to do my pattern cutting on the floor. Now, when I make my long evening dresses, I don't need to pattern cut. They're not designed in that way, but these have to be laid out. They need the pattern paper put on. They need to be pinned, weighted and cut. And my knees really hurt, because kneeling down on the floor is really hard. I don't have any table space. So at the moment, I'd like to have a put-up table that I could put up as and when I needed it. I've got the floor space to put up a table, but it would take up the whole of my front room. So it would be nice to have something where I can put it up when I need it, and then it flat packs down like a wallpaper paste table, that sort of thing, but at a good height. So I need to look into that. I did look into that before. They're really expensive. I don't want to pay hundreds of pounds for something that I might only use, you know, I might use every 3 or 4 days for a week or a month, and then won't use again for 6 months. I need to be, and I have so much stuff already. It's like, how much stuff do you need? So that is where I am at the moment. I'm enjoying being this creative and this enthusiastic. It feels like forever. And even though summer seems to have left us, I feel like I'm back in November again now. It's getting so dark at mid-afternoon. The clouds are here, the rain's here. It's not been as warm. A couple of nights ago, I had my my fluffy hoodie on, my fluffy slippers, and I was under my blanket watching TV in the evening because it got so cold. And that's not great for my creativity. I don't like being cold. And that's something else I need to think about. So I'm going to do a post about how I'm going to navigate winter this year, because when it gets really cold, it's really hard to work. I work from home. Energy bills are high, and they're going to go back up again by the end of the year. Surprise, surprise. And I need to be able to work, but I don't have the heating on. I try and limit my energy costs because it's just me here on my own and it's expensive. How am I going to do that better this year so that I can keep working and keep busy? That's for another video, but for now, I hope you found this interesting. As soon as these start to go live on the website, I'll do a quick post and give you an overview of how that's looking, give you an idea of the sizings, what sizings I'm using, because one of the challenges is that there is no uniform sizing in this country. So a size 12 can fit a range of different body sizes. You know, a high-end fashion brand 12 might be a size 14 in another brand. It's just all over the place. So I've had a look online. I've picked out a kind of a happy medium, and I've created my own sizes, which I'm going to create a chart for and then put that up on my website with the products that they relate to. So all these dresses will come with the size range so you can see what you're getting. What I tend to do when I'm putting up dresses is I will put the actual measurements in, or I will put in this will fit up to a size da da da, because particularly with the long dresses I do in the draped dresses, they're designed to fit up to a size, but they'll fit anything under that because of the way they're made, because they're untailored, and because of the way I do the waistlines and all that sort of thing. So I don't tend to worry too much about it for those, but for this, it's a little bit more important because there are limitations on the sizes. It's quite forgiving. The lengths are all the same. I can adjust the lengths. Scoop necklines tend to work for most body shapes, and I've grafted the sleeves into the body pattern, so there will be no tight seams and tight underarms to have to negotiate, and that way you get a longer sleeve to here without having to worry about where your seam lines fit. This is all trial and error, and this is how I do new products. And I haven't done anything like this in such a long time, so it's really fun to be feeling like I'm getting back onto it and starting to get creative again. I hope that's been interesting. Do leave me any comments, particularly if you're interested in any of these dresses. Once these are up online, I'm going to go into town. I'm going to go to my favourite fabric supplier and just have a look and see what other fabrics there are that I can maybe do these dresses in, because I'd like to do them in some like really crazy patterns. I got inspired by a shop I was window shopping in a couple of months ago, and they had these really bold, big, crazy patterns on these dresses that were not that dissimilar to what I've got here. And I thought, wow, they really stand out. And so I'm going to go and have a look. I'm going to see if that inspires me to do the next stage of this, because at the moment it's about, look at all these fabrics I've got in stock. I've had these for sale by the meter in my Etsy shop. Some of them have sold, some of them haven't, and I thought I'd rather turn them into dresses. That's originally why I had all this. So these are finally, after several years of being in cupboards and drawer spaces, finally being turned into dresses. And I'm running with this because I want to make the most of this enthusiasm. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, comments, do keep watching if you're interested in what I do, because these will be going live hopefully fairly soon. I'm going to finish this dress and then I might start listing the ones that I've done. I need to see how it looks as a smaller size, get the sizings right, because it may be that all of these dresses, because of the way they hang, will all fit different sizes, and therefore I've solved my problem. Anyway, that's my update. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.